Johnny Carson, the undisputed king of late-night television. With his sharp wit, effortless charm, and legendary ability to keep a show entertaining, he made The Tonight Show a cultural phenomenon. But not every guest made his job easy. While Johnny was a master at rolling with the punches, there were certain guests who tested his patience to the limit. Some were difficult, some were downright rude, and a few left Carson visibly irritated, something that rarely happened on air. Let's start with Bette Davis, the legendary actress known for her commanding presence and sharp tongue. She was Hollywood royalty, but also had a reputation for being, well, difficult. And when she appeared on The Tonight Show in the 1960s, things quickly went south. Davis came to the interview unprepared, forcing Johnny to carry the conversation. But instead of going along with his attempts to keep things moving, she fired back with snarky remarks that made the tension in the room almost unbearable. Carson, ever the professional, kept his composure, until Davis made a biting comment about the show itself. That's when Johnny subtly but firmly reminded her that he wasn't someone to be disrespected on his own stage. Then, there was Charles Grodin, an actor who seemed to thrive on pushing Carson's buttons. While most guests embraced Johnny's quick-witted style, Grodin did the opposite, deliberately making interviews as uncomfortable as possible. One of the most awkward moments in Tonight Show history came when Grodin sat there, barely acknowledging Johnny's questions. Carson, known for his patience, eventually had enough and sarcastically muttered, "This is the best interview I've ever done." The audience laughed, but the tension between the two men was unmistakable. But if there was one guest who completely dominated the conversation, it was Orson Welles. A brilliant filmmaker, yes, but also a man who loved to hear himself talk. When Welles appeared on The Tonight Show in the 1970s, Johnny could barely get a word in. Every question turned into a long, drawn-out monologue, with Welles going off on tangents that had little to do with the topic at hand. Carson, always skilled at keeping interviews on track, tried to steer things back. But as the minutes ticked by, his patience wore thin, and his expression said it all. This wasn't an interview, it was a one-man performance. And finally, there was Joan Crawford, a Hollywood icon whose diva behavior was infamous both on and off the screen. When she appeared on Carson's show, she reportedly treated the crew poorly, which did not sit well with Johnny. Carson had little tolerance for arrogance, and from the moment the interview began, it was clear he wasn't enjoying it. While he maintained his usual charm, there was an undeniable stiffness in the conversation, almost as if he was just waiting for the segment to be over. Insiders later claimed that Crawford's entitled attitude didn't just annoy Carson, it genuinely irritated him. While The Tonight Show was a place for laughter and entertainment, these moments prove that even the great Johnny Carson had his limits. Some of the most uncomfortable interviews in television history happened on that stage, and while Carson always handled them with grace, his frustration wasn't always easy to hide. So, what do you think? Which of these guests do you think was the most challenging for Johnny Carson? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss another fascinating story from television history. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.